There is something stirring inside you right now. You may not be able to put a name on it, and you may not even be sure where it is coming from, but you can feel it. A quiet pressure, a restless energy, a sense that something is about to shift in a way that you have never experienced before. If you are an Aries, you know what it is like to be driven by fire, to feel things deeply, to sense movement before anyone else around you even notices it. And right now, that fire inside you is not burning the same way it always has. Something is different. Something is building. The universe does not usually announce its plans with a loud voice or a bright sign that everyone can read. Instead, it whispers. It nudges. It sends small signals that, if you are paying attention, begin to form a picture. A picture of change. A picture of a new chapter opening. A picture of you stepping into a version of yourself that you have been quietly becoming for a long time. You are at a turning point. You may already feel it in your chest, in your sleep, in the way your thoughts have started moving differently. Today, we are going to look at 11 signs that confirm what you are already sensing. This turning point is real. It is near. And it is meant for you. Sign 1. Your sleep patterns have completely changed. Something is happening while you rest and even while you try to rest. Your sleep has not been the same. Maybe you are waking up at unusual hours, lying awake in the dark with a mind that refuses to quiet down. Maybe you are sleeping more than usual, feeling a heaviness that pulls you toward rest, even when you have things to do. Or maybe your dreams have become vivid, strange, full of images and feelings that linger long after you open your eyes. Whatever is shifting in your sleep, it is not random. As an Aries, you have always been someone who moves through the world with momentum. You are built for action, for forward motion, for charging ahead. But when a deep turning point is approaching, the first place the body responds is in the space where you slow down enough to receive it. Sleep is where your deeper mind processes what your waking mind has not yet caught up with. When your sleep changes, it is because something significant is being sorted out beneath the surface. Your inner world is reorganizing itself. Think about it this way. Before a major storm arrives, the air changes. Animals can feel it. The sky takes on a different quality. The wind shifts direction. Your body is doing the same thing. It is picking up on something that your logic has not yet translated into words. The restlessness you feel in the night, the strange waking hours, the dreams that feel more like visits than like random images. These are all signs that your deeper self is awake to what is coming, even if your surface mind is still catching up. For an Aries, this can feel frustrating. You want to know what it is. You want to move toward it. You want to act. But this phase, this disruption in your sleep, is asking you to do something unfamiliar. It is asking you to wait. Not passively, not helplessly, but with a kind of alert stillness. It is asking you to listen to what your body and your dreaming mind are already picking up. The messages are there. They are coming through in the language of rest and vision and sensation. Pay attention to the themes that repeat in your sleep. Pay attention to the emotions that stay with you when you wake. Pay attention to the hours when you find yourself awake, staring at the ceiling, with a feeling you cannot quite name but cannot quite shake. Something is being prepared inside you. A turning point does not arrive without preparation, and that preparation is happening right now, in the quiet, in the dark, in the space between one version of your life and the next. Sign 2. You feel restless without a clear reason. There is an energy inside you that will not sit still, and you cannot trace it back to anything specific. You have not had a fight with anyone. Nothing terrible has happened. Your life from the outside may look the same as it always has. And yet, there is this restlessness, this agitation that runs just beneath the surface. This feeling of being too small for the space you are in, or like you are waiting for something without knowing what you are waiting for. For an Aries, restlessness is not unusual. You are a fire sign. You are built to move, to push, to initiate. But this kind of restlessness feels different. It does not point toward a specific goal or action. It is more like an inner pressure that has no clear outlet. And that is exactly what makes it a sign. When your energy has no clear direction but is still building with force, it means that what is coming is so significant that your entire system is already responding to it before you have the information you need to act. Think of it like your body preparing for a race before you have heard the starting signal. The muscles are ready. The breath is shorter. The focus is narrowed. You are in starting position, even though no one has told you yet where you are going. This is not anxiety, though it can feel like it. This is anticipation at a level deeper than the mind. Your fire is rising because it can sense that there is somewhere to go, something to do, something important coming for which it will be needed. The key for you right now is not to try to force this energy into an outlet just to relieve the pressure. The Aries instinct will be to act, to make something happen, to charge in a direction, any direction, just to get moving. But the restlessness you are feeling is directional, even if the direction is not yet clear. If you act too soon in any direction just to move, you may miss the real opening when it appears. Instead, let the energy build. Channel it into your body, into movement that is not yet purposeful but keeps you vital and present. Walk, stretch, breathe deeply. Let the fire rise without forcing it into a shape before its time. Because when the turning point arrives, and it will, you will need all of that energy. Every bit of it. And the Aries who has been building power rather than wasting it on random motion will be the one who moves with unstoppable force the moment the path becomes clear. If what you are hearing feels accurate, know that it could happen if you applied this energy consistently for 21 consecutive days. That is the 21-day challenge pinned at the top of this channel. It is built around daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you are tired of staying in the same cycle, that structure is exactly what has been missing. Sign 3. People you had lost touch with are starting to reappear. They come back quietly at first. An old message from someone you had not spoken to in years. A name you think about suddenly, and then, within a day, you hear from them. Someone from your past appearing in a dream, and then appearing in real life shortly after. People are finding their way back to you, and it is happening in clusters, too many to be coincidence. When a major turning point is approaching in your life, the people who belong to the next chapter start to move toward you. Some of them are new faces you have not yet seen but are already on their way. And some of them are old, familiar, people who were once close to you, then drifted away, who are now finding paths back into your orbit. This is not random. The universe operates through connection. It uses the people in your life as messengers, as mirrors, as doorways. When someone from your past reappears, it is worth asking what they represent to you. What time in your life do they remind you of? What part of yourself was most alive when they were around? Because sometimes when a turning point is near, what the universe is returning to you is not just a person. It is a part of yourself that you had set aside, a quality or a strength or a joy that you had forgotten. As an Aries, you move forward with such force that you sometimes leave things behind. Not out of carelessness, but out of momentum. You charge ahead, and the things that cannot keep up simply fall away. But now, the turning point that is approaching is calling some of those things back. The people who are reappearing carry pieces of your story that are about to become relevant again. Pay attention to who is returning. Pay attention to what you feel when they reach out. There may be something that needs to be resolved, something that needs to be said, or simply a recognition that this person has a role to play in what comes next. Not every reappearance is a sign to go backward. Some of these returning people are stepping stones, part of the bridge that carries you forward. Welcome them without expectation. Be open to what they carry, and notice the pattern, because the pattern itself is part of the message. Sign 4. You keep noticing the same numbers or symbols everywhere. You glance at a clock and the numbers catch your eye. You see a particular sequence repeated on a receipt, on a sign, on a page. A specific image or symbol keeps appearing in different places. A bird, a color, a shape, a word. You notice it once and dismiss it. You notice it again and think it is strange. You notice it a third time and something in your chest quietly says, this is not a coincidence. You are right. It is not. The universe communicates through repetition. When something appears over and over again in your daily experience, it is because your attention is being directed. There is something you need to see, something you need to understand, something you need to remember. And because your conscious mind is busy with the routines of daily life, the universe uses these small, repeated signals to break through. For an Aries, these signals often carry a message of readiness. Numbers and symbols that repeat during a turning point are often connected to timing, to the idea that now is the moment, that the conditions are right, that the window is open. You do not need to overanalyze the specific meaning of every number or symbol you are seeing. What matters more is the feeling they trigger in you when you notice them. Do they feel like confirmation? Do they feel like a reminder? Do they feel like an invitation? Whatever you feel in that first split second before your mind tries to explain it away, that feeling is the message. For a bold and passionate soul like yours, these signals are the universe's way of saying, you are on the right track. Keep going. The path that is opening is the right one. The change that is coming is aligned with who you truly are. Trust the repetition. Trust the pattern. Trust the way your attention keeps being pulled toward the same thing again and again, even when it makes no logical sense. This is not superstition. This is attunement. And right now, you are tuned into something very important. Sign 5. Your emotions are more intense than usual. You feel everything with more weight right now. A song comes on and your eyes fill with tears before you even realize what is happening. A conversation touches something deep and you feel it in your whole body, not just your mind. Small things move you. Old feelings rise up unexpectedly. Joy feels brighter and sadness feels heavier. And even ordinary moments carry a kind of charge that you cannot quite explain. This emotional intensity is a sign, not of weakness and not of imbalance. It is a sign that something inside you is opening. For an Aries, emotions are often fuel. You feel things deeply, but you are usually so focused on forward movement that you process your emotions quickly, convert them into energy, and keep moving. But right now, your emotions are not converting quickly. They are sitting with you. They are asking to be felt fully, not just used. This is because a turning point requires more than action. It requires integration. It requires the kind of deep feeling that tells your whole self, not just your mind, that something important is shifting. The emotions you are feeling right now are not obstacles. They are part of the process. Every tear, every unexpected rush of feeling, every moment where something moves you without warning. These are pieces of you making space for what is coming. When a new chapter begins, the one before it has to be truly felt before it can be fully released. And the emotional intensity you are experiencing right now is part of that release. Let yourself feel what comes. Do not rush it. Do not convert it into action before it has done its full work. The fire in an Aries burns hot and fast, but some things need a slower, steadier burn to be transformed properly. Your emotions are doing important work right now. Honor them. They are not a sign that something is wrong. They are a sign that something powerful is on its way. Sign 6. Some doors seem to be quietly closing around you. You have noticed it without naming it. An opportunity that seemed promising has faded away. A relationship that used to feel important has grown quieter. A path you thought you were on has gently stopped showing signs of opening further. Doors are closing, not with a slam, not with drama, but with a quiet, definite finality that you can sense even when you cannot fully see it. This is one of the most significant signs of all, and it is one of the hardest to receive, especially for an Aries who is built to charge through doors, not watch them close. But here is what the closing of doors always means when a turning point is near. It means that the energy that was being held in certain directions is being redirected. The universe is conserving your force. It is pulling back the options that no longer lead where you are going so that when the right door opens, you will not be distracted by the ones that are no longer relevant. A closing door is not a punishment. It is not a sign that you have failed or that you are losing. It is a sign of alignment. It is the universe curating your path. Think about what has been fading, what has quietly stopped progressing, what once seemed like a sure thing but now feels distant. These are the things being released so that your hands are free to hold what is coming. For a fire sign like Aries, this phase requires trust, which does not always come easily. You want to act, to push, to force the door back open. But the doors that are closing right now are closing because they should. Resist the urge to force them. Instead, notice the direction you keep being pulled in when those doors close. Notice what remains. Notice what feels more alive as other things fade. Because in the space that is being cleared by these closings, something is being made ready. Something is about to be placed in your life that could not have arrived while those other doors were still occupying your attention. If this message is resonating with your sign right now, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal at exactly the right moment. And you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support, whether as a subscriber or as a member of this community, is what keeps these messages alive. The ones that touch hearts, awaken minds, and transform lives. If this video has been making sense to you, drop in the comments the day you were born. Let us keep going. Sign 7. A pull towards something new and unknown keeps growing. There is a direction you keep looking toward, even though you cannot fully see what is there. A kind of longing that has no clear object. A feeling like something is calling you. Not loudly, not with specific instructions, but with a steady growing pull that has been getting harder to ignore. You think about starting something new. You find yourself drawn to subjects or activities you had never paid much attention to before. You feel a kind of gravity toward a life that looks different from the one you are living right now. This pull is real and it is important. For an Aries, the call toward new territory is natural. You are a pioneer at heart. You were born to move toward the horizon, to explore, to initiate. But the pull you are feeling right now has a different quality than ordinary Aries restlessness. It is not about escaping something difficult. It is not about seeking novelty for its own sake. This pull feels purposeful even if you cannot yet articulate the purpose. It feels like a call from your future self, the version of you that is already living the life that is about to open. That version of you is reaching back, sending a signal that says, "Come this way. This is where you belong." Trust this pull. It is one of the most reliable messengers you have. The new and unknown territory that is calling to you is exactly where your turning point is waiting. You do not need to have it all mapped out before you start moving toward it. Aries is not built for perfect maps. You are built to move first and figure things out as you go. And that quality, that courageous leap into the unknown, is exactly what this moment is asking of you. Let the pull grow. Let it get louder. And when the time comes to follow it, you will know, because every part of you will feel ready, in the way that only an Aries heart can feel ready. Not because the path is clear, but because the courage is full. Sign 8. Your body is sending you signals that cannot be ignored. Your body has been speaking to you, and the messages are harder to push aside than they used to be. Perhaps you have been feeling tension in places that used to hold stress quietly. Perhaps your energy comes in waves you cannot control, hours of feeling fully alive followed by hours of deep fatigue. Perhaps you have had physical sensations that are new, or old ones that have returned with more urgency. Your body is a messenger. It holds the truth of what is happening inside you, even when your mind is busy managing the surface of your life. When a turning point is approaching, the body often begins to carry the weight of the transition before the mind has caught up. The physical signs are not always dramatic. They do not have to be. A persistent tightness in the shoulders can mean you have been carrying something that is ready to be put down. A heaviness in the chest can mean there is something that needs to be said or felt or released. A strange surge of physical energy at unusual times can mean that your body is preparing for action that has not yet been called for. As an Aries, you have a powerful relationship with your body. You are a physical being. You feel your emotions in your muscles, your stress in your posture, your excitement in the way you move through a room. So when your body sends signals right now, take them seriously. They are not separate from the spiritual message of this turning point. They are part of it. Listen to what your body is telling you. Rest when it asks for rest. Move when it wants to move. Eat with more care. Drink more water. Walk in the open air. Breathe deliberately. Your body is asking to be brought into this transition consciously, not dragged through it. And when you honor those physical signals, you create the kind of physical readiness that a life-changing turning point deserves. Sign 9. Old habits are starting to feel like a cage. You have been doing things a certain way for a long time. The routines, the patterns, the ways of handling situations that have been familiar and comfortable, they are starting to feel different. Not comfortable anymore. Confining. Like a coat you have outgrown that fits well enough if you hold your breath, but feels wrong the moment you try to move freely. Your old habits are feeling like a cage, and the discomfort of that is real. For an Aries, any form of confinement is difficult. You are built for freedom, for open space, for the ability to charge ahead without restriction. So when your own habits begin to feel limiting, it is particularly hard to bear. But here is the important thing to understand. The habits are not actually confining you. You are confining yourself by choosing to stay in them past their usefulness. Something has grown in you. Something has expanded. And the old patterns simply cannot hold the new size of who you are becoming. When a turning point is close, the structures of your old life start to feel wrong because they are wrong for the person you are actively becoming. The way you used to manage your time, the way you used to respond to stress, the way you used to relate to yourself and to others, these things are calling for revision. Not because they were bad, but because you have moved beyond them. This is one of the most exciting signs. even if it does not feel exciting in the moment. It means that your growth is real and measurable. You can feel the edges of your old patterns pressing against the new size of your spirit. And that pressure is the signal that a breakthrough is not far away. You are ready to live in a way that matches who you have become. The cage door is already open. You just have to decide to walk through it. Sign 10. You feel a strange calm, like the quiet before a storm. In the middle of all this restlessness, all this intensity, all these signals and signs, there is sometimes a pocket of quiet. A stillness that falls over you unexpectedly and feels different from peace. Feels like suspension. Like the moment before something important happens, when the air holds its breath. You might feel it in the morning before you get up, or late at night when everything is silent. A strange, deep calm that sits over you. Not the calm of resolution, but the calm of readiness. This is one of the most telling signs of all. The quiet before the storm is not emptiness. It is fullness of a different kind. It is the pause between one chapter and the next. And it carries a weight and a meaning that your spirit already understands, even if your mind cannot yet articulate it. For an Aries, this kind of stillness is rare and significant. You are not typically a still person. You are energy, movement, direction, fire. So when this quiet settles over you, even briefly, even in unexpected moments, it is remarkable. And it is meaningful. It means you have done enough preparing, enough processing, enough feeling your way toward what is coming. The turning point is very close. The storm that is coming is not a destructive storm. It is the kind of storm that clears the air, that breaks the heat, that brings the rain that everything has been waiting for. And you, standing in the last moments of quiet before it arrives, are more ready than you know. Sign 11. Something deep inside you knows it is time. Beyond all the signs, beyond all the signals and shifts and changes, there is something at the very center of you that simply knows. It does not shout. It does not argue its case. It does not explain itself. Just knows. Quietly. Certainly. With a kind of peace that comes from the deepest place inside you. Something is telling you that this is the moment. That the waiting, however long it has been, is ending. That what comes next is real, and it is yours, and it is closer than you can yet see. For an Aries, this inner knowing is one of your greatest gifts. Even when you do not always trust it. You are bold and you are action-oriented. But the fire that drives your action is fueled by something deeper. An instinct. An inner compass that has always pointed you toward your truest path, even when that path was not yet visible. That compass is speaking now. Not in a dramatic voice. In a quiet, steady, absolutely certain voice that says, "It is time. Time to step into the turning point that has been building. Time to receive what has been prepared for you. Time to become, fully and without apology, the person that all of these signs, all of these signals, all of these changes have been making way for." Do not talk yourself out of this knowing. Do not wait for more proof, more certainty, more visible signs before you trust what you already feel. You are Aries. You were born to leap. And the leap you are being called to right now is not a leap into the unknown. It is a leap into the part of yourself you have always known was there, waiting for this exact moment to arrive. If this message resonated with your sign, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it always sends exactly the right signal. And you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support as a subscriber or as a member of this community is what keeps these messages alive. They are the messages that touch, awaken, and transform. If this video made sense to you, leave in the comments the day you were born. You came here today because something in you recognized these signs before you could even name them. And now that you have heard them laid out one by one, what was already stirring inside you has a little more shape, a little more clarity, a little more confirmation. The turning point that is near for you as an Aries is not something that is happening to you. It is something that is happening through you, through the courage you have been building, through the fire you have been tending, through the long, sometimes quiet, sometimes turbulent process of becoming who you have always been meant to be. Every sign you recognized in this message is a thread, and those threads are weaving together into something that is already taking shape, even if you cannot see the full picture yet. The sleep changes, the restlessness, the returning faces, the repeating numbers, the emotional intensity, the closing doors, the pull toward the new, the signals from your body, the cage of old habits, the quiet before the storm, and that deepest of all knowings, they are all pointing in the same direction. Forward. toward a life that matches the size of your spirit, toward a chapter that is worthy of your fire. You are an Aries, and you were not built to stay where you are when something better is calling. You were built to move toward it, to meet it head-on, to embrace it with the courage and the passion that is your birthright. The turning point is not something you need to force or manufacture. It is already in motion. Your job right now is simply to stay awake to it, to keep paying attention, to honor every signal, trust every nudge, and hold steady in the knowledge that what is coming for you is worth every moment of the waiting, every moment of the restlessness, every moment of the not yet knowing. Keep watching for the signs. They will not stop until you are exactly where you are meant to be.